AskReddit, what is your hahaha, oh wait, your serious moment? Subscriber all and humanity. When I was in high school, I received a message over MSN from a buddy saying, "Mitch is dead," thinking he got into trouble. I responded with, "Ahaha, what did he do?" Quote, "It turns out, he had a brain aneurysm while driving home from school. Started a new job in a company where my boss worked in 2 different offices. He wrote himself a note on legal paper. He handed it to me and told me to fax it to the other office. Then he told me to call them and tell them to put it on his desk there so he could have it tomorrow." When he arrived, I smiled because I thought he was playing a joke on the new guy. He was not. He loves faxing. I asked a coworker with what his son's name was, and he answered Legolas. After 2 seconds of laughing, I realized he wasn't laughing. His son is actually named Legolas. This was a few years ago. I forgot how the topic was brought up, but I clearly remember my older sister saying, "There aren't any modern buildings in Egypt, just pyramids." When I learned I had totally forgotten to attend almost every single class in one of my college courses, I forgot I had enrolled in it. A classmate asked me, "Haha, where have you been? You're never there when the teacher's taking attendance." And I was like, "Haha, funny." So anyway, fuck. Luckily it was only about a month into the semester and I managed to bring it back up to a low B. I once worked with a 50-some-year-old guy at my first job, who also happened to be a former crackhead. I added in that detail because his mannerisms and communication were clearly affected by his prior drug use, and he would sometimes laugh when he was telling serious stories. One day he was telling me a story about him accidentally setting fire to the woods when he was trying to cremate his dead pet frog when he was a little boy. I was laughing my ass off. Strangely so was he, until he looked me dead in the eye, with a face that's as serious as they get, and says, "I'm still not over it." I knew that look and knew he was actually being serious despite being in absolute hysterics with me while telling his story. I immediately felt like an asshole. He was cool about it though, thankfully, lol. ***, some guys where I worked were planning to gang rape a girl in the parking lot when the shift ended. ***, it wasn't a hilarious haha story even at first, but it really seemed like just really horribly inappropriate joking. It was a lunch table I sat down at during my break, with guys around my age. At first I was just really uncomfortable and just tried to shut up and tune it out. But then they tried to include me and it escalated to them full-out planning details and I was just about sick at the table. I was absolutely sure they were going to do it. So as soon as they were gone I went and told my dad, who was the safety guy at the plant. And he made sure cops were waiting for them in the parking lot and that girl had someone walking her to her car from then on. Whole thing was so fucked. Friend 1, "Hey man, how come you decided to shave all your hair off?" Friend 2, "The chemo kind of decided for hi monsieur." Friend 1, "Fuck off Joe." No, seriously though, how come? Me. He's actually not joking. Funniest shit that ever happened to me. An intern at the vet I work at was a very sheltered Mormon. He came to work one day panicked. He had his first kiss the night before, asked the girl to marry him, and was concerned about his wedding date. He was absolutely convinced that he got her pregnant by kissing her. Absolutely convinced. It took me a long time to register what he was panicked about because it sounded so absurd. He had delivered hundreds of kittens and puppies by then. I just thought he had also learned about human reproductive anatomy as well as animals by then. My estranged auntie sending me a message to disinvite me to my sick but alive father's funeral because, wait for it, I had lunch with my little half-brother and sister, and that is disrespectful to my father. My father never let me and half-siblings meet before this lunch had occurred, and by meeting them, he disowned me, literally. That's it. Just my fucked up family. Years back I dated a girl who would lie compulsively about random things. The first big example, I went to her place. She'd just got Assassin's Creed for the first time and was really getting into the story. Like a week later she was telling me how she'd just discovered her family were related to assassins from Florence. I thought it was a joke, but turns out she was serious. Had changed her surname to something Italian on FB and had already spread the lie about on social media. In my head I was like, I literally watched you play Assassin's Creed last week, but she was gorgeous. WAAAY, out of my league. So I put up with this and other crazy shit for another 6 months before I gave up.